What's going on, guys? I just woke up and now it's time for me to make some breakfast. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make one of my favorite breakfasts ever. I don't eat it very often, but when I do, it's a glorious day. I'll be showing you how to make bagels with cashew cream cheese and carrot lox. And if you don't know, lox is smoked or cured salmon that they put in cream cheese sometimes or on top of bagels. And I know I just did a carrot recipe about 2 weeks ago. If you haven't watched that video, click it right here. I did some carrot hot dogs. But this recipe is too good not to share, and I honestly didn't know what else to do this week. This was very quick and easy, so I just decided to film this video. Now, I'm a New Yorker, and we take our bagels very seriously here. So if you're making this recipe, I recommend getting the highest quality bagels you can find. Please don't go to the bread aisle in your grocery store and just pick up a pack of bagels. I mean, if that's what tickles your fancy, go for it. But if you're a foodie like me, you want that real good shit, you know, that good, delicious, amazing, perfectly cooked bagel. So go to a local bakery. Most bagels are actually vegan. Obviously don't get like an egg bagel or a bagel with, you know, cheese on it. But any sort of like everything bagel, plain bagel, sesame seed, poppy seed bagel, they are usually vegan, but just double check. And like I said, these recipes are super easy to make. The carrot lox does take a little bit of time to cook and roast in the oven and marinate. So if you're gonna make this for a brunch, some sort of get together or a special event, I recommend making the carrot lox ahead of time so you don't have to worry about it. So since the carrot lox takes the longest to make, we're gonna make that first. To start making your lox, you're gonna need about 4 to 5 carrots and a bunch of coarse sea salt. It's very important that you get coarse sea salt, not fine sea salt, like the stuff that you just put on your food. You wanna get the coarse sea salt, which is the sea salt that you usually find in like the salt grinders at the grocery store. You can usually find them at a bulk store. I don't think they have them at Costco. You can check though, but any sort of grocery store or store that sells spices or anything in bulk will have them. And the reason you need so much coarse sea salt is because you're gonna cover the carrots completely with all of this coarse sea salt, and you're gonna roast them in the oven to get them nice and soft and also flavorful from the salt. And no, it is not gonna be super overly salty, the carrots, they won't be, I promise. They will have a bunch of flavor though from that salt, and it'll absorb all of that goodness, and it'll just be really, really good. And if you've ever had normal salmon lox before, you know that it's pretty salty. Any cured meat or anything like that is gonna be really salty. So if you're not into that, you can leave this off. Leave it off the bagel and just make the cashew cream cheese. So you're gonna take some sort of baking dish, and it needs to be able to hold all of the salt and the carrot, so it needs to have like a deep dish, like casserole dish or something like that. It doesn't have to be really big because you're only roasting 4 to 5 carrots. So you're going to preheat your oven to 375, and you're gonna wash off your carrots, pour a layer of coarse sea salt on the bottom of your casserole dish, and then layer on the carrots right on top of the coarse sea salt, and then you're just gonna pour even more sea salt on top so that it covers all of the carrots completely. This is very important. You want the carrot to be completely covered with the salt because it's gonna steam the carrots in the oven. So if there's any part of the carrot that is peeking out, it won't cook properly. So once your carrots are covered with the sea salt, then you're gonna pop it in the oven uncovered for an hour and a half. So once the carrots have been roasting in the oven for an hour and a half, you're gonna take them out of the oven and let them cool slightly for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then you're gonna crack open the salt, and you're gonna notice that while it was roasting in the oven, the salt forms some like a crust sort of situation. And that's how the carrots cooked and steamed, was in that little salt crust. So you're gonna crack it open with a wooden spoon or really carefully with a knife, some sort of metal utensil, and you're gonna pull out the carrots. Make sure it's not too hot. That's why you wanna let it cool for a little bit beforehand. So you're gonna let it cool just enough so you can handle the carrots and not burn yourself. And then you're gonna take them out of the salt, brush off all the salt, and then start peeling the carrots really carefully. I use a little paring knife and I just cut a little line down the center of the carrot, and then I just carefully peel it from that line. And you want to keep the carrots as whole as possible. If they fall apart a little bit, it's fine, it's not a big deal. After all of your carrots are peeled, you're going to slice each one really thinly across. And obviously you want them to mimic the look of smoked salmon. So you're kind of going for that amount of thinness if possible. So just be careful. The carrots will be soft at this point, so you don't want to be too rough with them, but just carefully slice them as thin as possible. And they don't have to be perfect. Don't stress over it. It's not that big of a deal if some fall apart or some are a little thicker or thinner. It really doesn't matter. So after they're all peeled and cut really thinly, you're going to marinate them. So you want to get a Pyrex dish of some kind, some sort of like Tupperware that they can marinate in the fridge for a couple of days in. To make the marinade, you're going to need a half teaspoon of coconut vinegar, 2 teaspoons of liquid smoke, and 1 teaspoon of some sort of oil. I like using avocado oil or olive oil, some sort of oil like that, or any neutral oil. You can use canola oil, vegetable oil, anything like that. And the oil is optional, but if you want that really authentic smoked salmon look and feel, then you want to add a little bit of oil, because, you know, if you've ever had smoked salmon before, it's a little slimy. And so yeah, that's what the oil is there for. Once you've got all the marinade ingredients in there, you're just gonna toss around the carrots so they get really well coated with everything, and then you're gonna place it in your fridge and let the carrots marinate for 2 days. And you really need 2 days to marinate them, because that way the flavors can really marry together and the carrots can taste really delicious and really deepen that loxy, amazing flavor. So while the carrots are marinating, we're gonna make our cream cheese. It doesn't take 2 days to make, promise. You can make the cashew cream cheese the day of that you're gonna eat it, or bring it to an event or something like that. But you don't have to. You can make it ahead of time. And this recipe is pretty easy and straightforward. You're literally just gonna take everything, dump it in a Vitamix, and blend it until smooth. So all the ingredients you need for this cashew cream cheese are 2 cups of cashews, and you want them to soak. So I take the measurements from just plain, raw, dry cashews. So 2 cups of those, and then once they soak, they expand a little bit and they puff up. So it'll be more like 2.5, 3 cups of cashews once they're done soaking, but measure it from their raw, unsoaked state first. You can soak your cashews overnight, or my favorite way of doing it is just to boil them for 15 minutes on the stove. I just find they blend up really well, especially when they are a little bit warm. So along with your cashews, you are going to need 4 tablespoons of water, 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 teaspoon of liquid smoke, 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast, a few pinches of salt to start out with, and some freshly cracked pepper. And you're gonna blend everything up until those cashews are silky, sexy smooth. I like to start my blender at the lowest setting and then bring it up higher and stir as I go. And if you feel uncomfortable with stirring while the Vitamix is on, then turn it off and scrape down the sides, and just do that a few times until everything is smooth and you're good to go. Once everything is smooth, you can taste and adjust any seasonings. You can add more lemon juice, more apple cider vinegar, more salt, more pepper, whatever you want. And if you really want to get fancy, you can add in some fresh chopped up scallions to make scallion cream cheese, or chives, or rosemary, or whatever cream cheese, savory cream cheese you like. To make this bagel super authentic, you can add on some red onion and capers along with the smoked carrot locks. And it is so good. So good. I even think little kids might like this because you know kids aren't really big on like the fishiness of things, fish in general, they don't like eating it. So maybe give this a try, give it to them and see if they like it. I think they might because it doesn't have like a fishy flavor. It just has a really good smoky flavor, smoky, salty flavor that classic smoked salmon has without the fishiness. And it's pretty crazy how on point this carrot lox is, I gotta say. Whew. Oh god. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already, so you're up to date on all the videos I post every week. And don't forget to take care of yourself this week, eat good food, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.